really don't know where to start, folks, because I've never been one to talk off cards. Diane and I were just talking, and she was referencing how she went off script, and I've never had a script. I told her what I basically do is I channel. Mostly my grandfather, who was the smartest third-grade graduate I ever met in my life. Excuse me. One of the things that he told me that has really stuck with me over the years is when the pain of not doing something becomes greater than the pain of doing something, you'll do something. And I've reached that point. I reached a point some months back of saying, I'm tired of career politicians. And politics for me, pretty much like a cesspool, only you can pump a cesspool out. I dove in. I decided what we needed was somebody, one of the regular folks, people who have lived life at a regular level, to get in there and do something. I fell a little short this time. I'm not going away. Folks, we've reached a point to where we don't need words anymore. We do need some communication to provide a focus for our activities, but the name of the game is action. If you don't vote, you really have already said, I don't care. I care. I served my country for 10 years in the military. I serve her still. I don't just protect, preserve, and support the Constitution of these United States. I honor it. I will not let you use it for toilet paper. I will not let you ignore it. It's the greatest document of its kind in the history of man, and it's the only one I know of that has a built-in lifetime warranty. It's called the Second Amendment. I am an extreme guns rights supporter. I believe that we have that as a right because that protects our life, our liberty, and our pursuit of happiness, which, by the way, was originally property. That's the way it was worded originally. And I put those into the same thing because it's typically our pursuit of happiness is manifested by those physical things that we have. But there's a lot of things that are a lot deeper. The greatest thing about this country is the ability of each and every citizen to live their life according to the way they choose, not the way somebody else in some wonderful little white building in the District of Columbia decides that we need to live it. I want my children to learn my values. I want my family to know the love and support that comes from me. Government doesn't have that ability, and I won't give them the chance. Our Constitution affords us a lot of rights. Today, we're exercising one of those rights, which is our right to peaceful assembly, the right to free speech, and the right to petition our government for redress of grievances. And I got a laundry list. I won't go into that because another thing my grandpa always told me is that the best political speech is the shortest one. And folks, let me be clear about this. This is not a political speech. This is straight from the heart, Alton. From me to you, friends, neighbors, one of the most glorious phrases I've ever used in my life, my fellow Americans. We all have common aims. Our methods may differ, but ultimately, when it comes down to it, we want to be good people with a good life and enjoy the time that God gives us here. That's the big thing, is the time. Our rights are given to us. They are unalienable. But we are only one generation away from losing them, as Mr. Reagan said. And the simple fact is we've reached a point. I came out of a tree the fast way about 30 years ago. Well, I'm starting to feel some of the effects of that as time has worn on this old carcass of mine, plus amongst the other things I've done to it. And since getting back into the gym, I've come to a new understanding of what it means to do maintenance instead of repair. It's a lot more painful, it requires more effort, and it takes a lot more time overall. Pick a category and place yourself in it. If you want to be a 15-minute patriot, a 30-minute patriot, a 10 or 12-hour patriot, but do something, folks. If all you can do is talk, that's the greatest thing in the world. Get out there and talk with your friends, talk with your family, talk to strangers. One of the things I learned in the course of my campaign was that it didn't just get a lot easier, it got to be a lot of fun just talking with folks. And believe me, I ran into some folks that didn't really agree with all the points that I had. But there was an opportunity to communicate. There was an opportunity to find our common ground and to work towards a common positive goal. You know, there's a real old story, and I'm going to close with this, about change. And that is, the captain of a ship went to his first mate and he says, you know, first mate, the men really stink. They stink bad. You need to have them change their underwear. First mate says, aye, aye, sir. Went down into the berthing compartment with the men, said, men, the captain says that you stink, and I agree, and he wants you to change underwear. So Smith, you change with Jones. Jones, you change with Williams. Change ain't really that positive if you don't know what it is and you don't have something constructive that you're looking for at the end. Do something. Like I said, it doesn't take a lot of time. A nice little 5-minute phone call. For those of you that have discovered the information superhighway, emails take next to no time. Educate yourselves. Educate your children. The biggest thing that we've got, the greatest treasure that our nation has, is our children. I don't want to give them, I don't want to turn over to them something incredibly worse than what I was given. I do appreciate your time, and please, November 2nd, vote.